Looks like we're setting up this webinar.
Yeah, it says on my side that we're live.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say we are live then. Hello there, Carol Dockum here with Beautiful Faces Going Places. And I am super excited to continue our Business Spotlight series. And our special guest today is none other than Diania Merriam, Chief Economist with EconoMe LLC. And I invited her here today because I think it's so important to really talk about finance and financial literacy and kind of where we've gone and where we're going. And I met Diania at an event recently, our video marketing event with Shannon Danistay of 5-Star Social Media and Jim Gray. And I fell in love with her passion and her mission with EconoMe. So Diania is here today to share a little bit about what that's all about. But I want to read a little excerpt here from her bio, which really resonated with me. Let's see, the American dream originated as an ideal where every person has the right to pursue his or her own unique version of happiness. Many Americans are frustrated with the rat race in their financial positions. EconoMe is all about reclaiming the right of the original American dream and creating a life you love. So please help me welcome Diania. Hi, Diania.
Hello, Carol. Good to see you.
Yeah. So this is so cool. Yeah, as I mentioned, I was just fascinated with you, by you, and just fell in love with your mission and what you've created here. So, please share a little bit about EconoMe,
Sure.
how it came about, and what is it all about?
Absolutely. So EconoMe is a conference that's happening this Saturday, March 7th. It's at the University of Cincinnati. And it is a full day event rooted in the FIRE movement. So FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. And it's essentially a lifestyle movement with the goal of financial freedom. And it's something that I discovered probably about 5 years ago, and it just totally changed my life. I found this blog called Mr. Money Mustache, which is a crazy name, but he's actually one of the most popular bloggers in the FIRE movement. And this is a guy who retired at 30 years old because he saved 75% of his income while he was working, or something crazy like that, right? It was a really high percentage. And I just ate this blog with a spoon. I mean, at the time that I found this, I was living in New York City. I was 30 grand in debt. And, I was doing really well in my career and climbing the ladder. But I was approaching 30 years old, and I think it's one of those like reflective ages where you start to look at, okay, I'm checking off all these goals of, or these boxes of what my goals are. And I don't know that I'm necessarily as happy as I thought I would be as my income is increasing and I'm climbing the ladder and all of that kind of stuff. So, I was asking myself a lot of big questions. And one of the things I needed to wrap my head around was my money. I was 30 grand in debt, and mostly from just mindless consumption. I was going out all the time, party animal in New York City. I mean, that's what your 20s are about, right?
Yes.
But I didn't have much to show for it. I was really starting to make a good income, and I had 30 grand of debt. And so I had this goal to get out of debt. And when I was looking for resources to help me do that, that's how I found the FIRE movement. And so what I learned from the FIRE movement really changed my relationship with money and consumerism. And I was able to get out of that debt in 11 months. So 30 grand in 11 months. And then from there, I actually started saving about 60% of my income. And that opened up a world of possibility for me. So I was able to negotiate a remote working arrangement with my employer. So I moved from New York City, which is a very high cost of living, to Cincinnati almost 3 years ago. Cincinnati is the lowest cost of living metro area in the country. It is amazing. And so I've been able to do a lot here that I wouldn't have been able to do in New York. I mean, I bought a house. I took 2 months off of work and went and walked the Camino, which is a 500-mile trek across Spain. It took me 38 days to walk across a country. And that's a life experience that I was able to have in the middle of my career. You know, a lot of people have to wait until traditional retirement to do something like that. So
when you hit that traditional retirement, you may not physically be able to do that 500-mile trek. That's pretty amazing. Yes. Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting to me is when I was doing that, many of the people that I met on the trail were twice my age. They were doing it in traditional retirement. I met an 80-something-year-old guy who had done it 9 times. There was a 91-year-old woman on the trail at the same time. She was like a celebrity on the trail. Right. I mean, these people showed me that age is just a number. Right. So I don't think there's anything wrong with waiting for traditional retirement, but you never know what life's going to throw at you. Yeah. And what if I waited and I wasn't physically able, or something else happened that, I couldn't do it. So having the financial means to seize opportunities as they present themselves. I mean, it was the same thing when I bought my house. I bought, $150,000 house in Cincinnati, which is it's an amazing price for a house. I feel so spoiled that I had that opportunity. But at the time, I wasn't really looking to buy a house. I was looking for an investment property, but the numbers just weren't working out at all the properties I looked at. And so I came across this house, and it wasn't an impulse purchase, but I was able to seize this opportunity because I had the 30 grand to put down on a down payment.
Yes.
Exactly. And so I think it's not just about early retirement. That's the thing I find people get hung up with in the FIRE movement, is because it stands for early retirement, right? Just because you are financially secure or financially free doesn't mean that you hate your job and that you need to quit. It just means that you have created a comprehensive safety net for yourself to not only guard against the things life throws at you, which could be a job loss, which could be an illness, which could be taking care of a family member, right? You want to be prepared for those unknowns, but it's also about seizing the opportunities as they present themselves, whether it's walking across the country, buying a house, starting a business. I mean, to have the resources to start this business. I don't have any investors. I'm doing all of the investing in my business on my own. I didn't have to take out any loans to do this. And to produce a massive event is very expensive. Yes. To be able to have the means to do it. I'm extremely fortunate. So what I also notice about the FIRE movement is that this community is not only wealthy, we're also really generous. And we have found a level of happiness and freedom that we really want to share with people. And that's what this event is about. I'm not making any money off of this. So yes, it's my business. But to me, true wealth is the ability to create what you want to see in the world and not necessarily have to make an income from it. And that's what I found for me. This to me is like something I really want to see in the world. So I'll tell you a little bit about the event and what's going to happen on Saturday. So it's basically positioned like the TED Talks of the FIRE movement, right? So we've got 9 speakers. We have a very diverse speaker lineup, and I am actually really proud of the fact that 5 out of 9 of our speakers are women.
That's awesome.
And our speaker lineup is very diverse. They come from all different backgrounds, high income, low income. Some are already retired, very young. Some are reached financial independence and decided not to retire, that decided to keep working. So there's a lot of diversity and inclusiveness in the lineup. And that's just one piece of this event, is the main stage speakers. The other opportunities at this event, we are screening a documentary called Playing with Fire. It's the first documentary about the FIRE movement. It's amazing. So even if you don't come, please just Google Playing with Fire documentary. I think you can get it off of Amazon and watch it from home. So I really encourage that. The other thing that we're doing in the middle of the day is what we're calling attendee-led meetups. So not only do you get to learn from our amazing speakers, but you get to learn from the other attendees. There are going to be over 200 people at this event who are in various stages of their pursuit of financial independence. some are already retired, but they are so active in the community that they want to come and cheer the rest of us on and share their knowledge. Some people are just getting started. You know, I've made this accessible to students who don't know anything about the FIRE movement or financial literacy in general, right? Because they don't teach that at school. Exactly. So, and then there are people like me that are somewhere in between. So I'm currently 8 years away from financial independence. And, you know, I feel the need to surround myself with community, surround myself with other people who are on this unconventional path, and, you know, keep engaged with the content that really inspires me to stay the course. So there's a very diverse audience that's going to be there. And I'm really thrilled at the opportunity for the attendees to learn from each other. So that's what the attendee-led meetups are. There are 6 options. So if you're interested in real estate or you're interested in investing, a really popular one is actually healthcare options for early retirement. And that's probably relevant for your audience too, because entrepreneurs have to figure out healthcare.
Yes, they do.
And actually, healthcare is the #1 reason why financially independent people don't retire, is because they're worried about healthcare. And so we have 2 experts on that are leading that breakout session, which I think is just phenomenal. So that's kind of the flow of the day. In the middle of the day, we have those 2 options, attendee-led meetup or documentary, and then we get back together for a second session of speakers. And then we're going to close out the whole day at 8 p.m. at the Woodward Theater with an after party. And I got a band and I got a DJ and I got this cool like photo booth thing. So it's going to be super fun. And then the next day, so the EconoMe is a full day event, but there are a lot of people traveling in for it. So I did want to facilitate some activities on Sunday, but they're completely free. So in the morning, we're doing a dog meetup, a dog park meetup for people that, you know, want to get together with their dogs at the Otto Armletter Dog Park. And we'll have some dog treats there for you. And it's being facilitated by a wonderful man who has his own business that he's a dog concierge. So he's going to be there greeting you and hanging out with you for the dog meetup. And then at noon, we're starting an urban hike. So I've partnered with this organization called Urban Rangers, and they are going to take a 3-hour hike around Cincinnati and highlight the beauty of this city. I absolutely love it here, and I've moved here from New York City. So, you know, it's a bold statement to come from New York to say that you love Cincinnati so much, but I really do. And this hike is being facilitated by Urban Rangers. This guy, I went on one of his hikes last year. He's like one of those most interesting men in the world. He'll stop you on a street corner and tell you an amazing story about what happened there 100 years ago. I mean, he's just fascinating. So I'm super excited for people to join that hike. And then at 3 p.m., we've partnered with the Over the Rhine Brewery Association, and they're going to do a brewery tour. And it's the one where you go down like 30, 40 feet into the underground cellars. And
I've been there. Yes, it's a great tour. Yes.
Yeah, and so we're going to get to do that and really highlight Cincinnati's beer culture. So those are the activities on Sunday. They're completely free. So even if you can't come on Saturday, but you're interested to meet like-minded people that are doing amazing things with their finances, come to the free stuff on Sunday. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I forgot to tell you about the event? I think that's probably covers it.
Yeah, I think so too. And it sounds like just a phenomenal event, which is why I wanted to invite you here today to share information about your movement, EconoMe, and the conference coming up here this Saturday, March 7th. So if are tickets still available? And if yes, okay,
so tickets are still. Yeah, they're available on my website. So it's economyconference.com. And I'm sure you'll put some notes here about EconoMe is spelled with an M-E. Thought that was pretty clever.
It is clever.
Yeah, so tickets are still on sale. General admission is $149, which, by the way, is an extremely low price for a full day event like this. I paid upwards, I go to a lot of events. I usually pay around $700 for an event like this. So the fact that I was able to keep the ticket price this low, I really wanted to make it accessible to people, and I didn't want the price point to be a barrier for people to come. So $149 for general admission. We also have half-price tickets for students. So students can come for $75. But one of the other things that, I mean, there's so many aspects to this event, but what I love about this community, again, they're wealthy, but they're also generous. So a number of people have bought student tickets that I'm able to gift to a deserving student who can't afford the $75 price point, because that still might be a little steep for a student, right? And so I have probably a handful left to give away. So if you know a student, anyone watching this, if you know a student who might want to come, there's an application that they can fill out, and you could just go to my website. The contact form on my website goes directly to me, and you can email me, ask me for the link to the application, and I will be able to match you with a sponsor and get you a free ticket for a student.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, this community continues to blow me away. And people have come out of the woodwork to help me, and it's just going to be an incredible day.
All right. Well, I think that is fabulous. Thank you so much for, sharing your passion and information on, just wealth literacy and financial literacy. And it really does begin in the home. It should begin within our school systems. And I think that the old traditional way, the old American dream, is definitely changing, and we really do need new strategies. So
absolutely,
I'm just thrilled that you're providing that education, information, and resources. And thank you so much, Diana, for sharing your passion with us. And I'm excited for you and your event, EconoMe, and the EconoMe conference. And I will share all that information below with a link below. So
awesome. Well, thank you. Right. It was really nice talking to you, Carol.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day. And
you too.
Okay, take care.